Right, so welcome back to the channel. Now, if you are new around here or you just have not done so already, be sure to scroll on below the video and press that red button to subscribe, and while you're down there, hit that like button, as I massively appreciate it and it massively helps out the channel and its growth. But today we're going to be talking about this, what looks like a piece of shit card, the BF Club. It looks shit, it looks old school, but it's actually quite good, and I'll explain all that, and I'll explain how that is. But first off, we need to customize it, and there's actually quite a bit of customization on this car. A lot of it quite pointless to me, you have your own opinion, but there is some good ones. So bodywork, it gets a bit weird, because for bodywork I was thinking like the more expensive ones would be like the whole car, but no, it just looks weird, and I ended up just keeping it how it was because it just looked weird for the car, and I couldn't be bothered like putting like carbon on it because it looked weird. Brakes, obviously maxed that out. The bumpers, once again, there was a variety here to pick from old classic to what looked like quite nice and sleek, so I ended up going for this option here. And then for the rear one, I ended up just going for one of the bumpers that had a little step up there, as you can see, little step to the boot. Maxed out the engine, and now the exhaust was a little bit weird because I thought there was going to be one either side of the car, but I ended up just having that one sticking out, and I picked that one because it seemed the other ones were just underneath the actual bodywork. And then for the actual wheel covers, I just left it how it was really because I thought it was like a meh decision to make. And then for the light covers, I ended up going straight across with the bit going across the sides because it just looked more nice and better. And then for the hood, I ended up picking something that was quite expensive but still looked nice, because to me personally the engine showing doesn't really look that nice, so I ended up just going for a normal hood. And then for the lights, as always, we'll go for the most expensive lights, the most expensive layout, and then for the orange underglow because it just looks nice. Now for the livery, I ended up scrolling through a bunch of these, and a lot of them didn't look nice on the car, especially with red. But what I ended up going for was what looked like army-ish looking, which was this one right here, bit rusty with a little bit of like an army logo lookalike on it. And then I ended up going for the black and yellow license plate. Ended up changing the secondary color to red as always, just to make it all look nice and better. And then for the roof, there wasn't really much options here. I was wondering if them speakers work, which if they do, meh, don't really care. So I ended up just going for the back window, and I'm guessing that helps with the window from breaking, I suppose. I don't really know. And then for the spoiler was kind of weird as well. There was a lot of options for this car to customize. However, there's so many of them that look so bad on the car, so I ended up just going with a little spoiler on the roof of it, making it a black one basically. And then for this extra bodywork, I ended up covering up the back window with a red because it just looked nice, and it looks like a little shuttle thing. Lowered the suspension, maxed out the transition, and maxed out the turbo. And then for wheels, I ended up just putting bulletproof wheels on, and then obviously the blue smoke trail because it just looks best. For wheels, I don't really care about them, like for actual customization. So for this one, I ended up just picking like a reasonably cheap one really. And then for windows, I obviously made them completely blacked out, and then that was my car for the entire completion. Now for the actual review of the car, of how it drives. So looks for it are like a hit and miss for me. It really depends on what you put with this car. But for some reason, this car controls so goddamn well. Its speed, its acceleration, its handling, and literally everything else is just amazing to this car. It seems so quick as well around the city. And that's around the fucking city, I said that correctly. It's mad how quick and nimble this car can be, because it looks shit. It looks like one of them 80s classic cars that you could just upgrade a shitload that people were just going to buy for the customization. But no, I feel like people are going to buy this car for its speed, agility, turning, braking, all that, because it's actually a decent car driving it, and it's actually quite fun driving it as well, because you can go around corners quite quickly, you can catch up to literally sport cars in this thing. And also, it just looks funny, especially when you patch up the back windows, because it literally looks like you're in a little shuttle about to head off into space. So then with that all said in mind, me personally, I think this is one of the cars I will be keeping, seeing as it is quite fast, quite good in most standards, and also looks decently alright, and also to me kind of funny. But let me know what you guys think about this card down below, because that is the end of this review. Now again, let me know what you guys think of this card down below, and will you be using it a lot more often than you actually think, because this card is so much better than I thought it would actually be. But anyways, if you did enjoy, go check some other videos. There are plenty more on the channel for you to go watch, and there's a couple more car reviews if you are interested in them. Remember, go check out some other videos in the past, because there are lots more on there for you to go watch. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.